Hey everybody, welcome back to the Voice of the One podcast. It's Isaiah-Kenney speaking. Call me Kenny. So glad you're here. Today we're going to continue a lovely series, Plants and Miracles, learning A Course in Miracles with Ayahuasca. And we're going to stay on another miracle healing idea from lesson 135 in the text. If I defend myself, I am attacked. Now, you'll notice that really we're always talking about this idea and what it means to live in defenselessness, to find a new healing position, mental state, rather than the one that we've been living in that defends a self that isn't real. One of the things that you learn when you drink ayahuasca is about mental climate. That all climate is really mental climate. Because you can't be anywhere other than your own mind. So no matter what you feel, whether that be temperature, taste, emotion, it's all mental climate. And as you move along, you learn that it's a choice that you're making. That you really choose all the feelings that you have based off the goals you would achieve. The goals of the ego or the goal of the Holy Spirit. Peace. The ego's goal, death, pain. It wants you to continue to searching for things outside yourself to make you happy. That's one of its chief defenses. But we don't typically think of seeking for things outside of ourselves as a defense. And we've been discussing that defense holds up the illusion of attack. And it's our job, our occupation, our one responsibility to life in the world, to examine every defense that we have and to learn to give it up. As we were saying, no one maintains defense unless he believes that attack is real and that defense is required to protect what? An illusion. The illusion of the image of a body that you have identified yourself as. A mental projection in your own mind. All right, let's read a couple passages from the text. Lesson 135. I defend myself. I am attacked. The body is in need of no defense. This cannot be too often emphasized. It will be strong and healthy if the mind does not abuse it by assigning roles to it cannot fill, to purposes beyond its scope, and to exalted aims which it cannot accomplish. Such attempts, ridiculous yet deeply cherished, are the sources of the many mad attacks you make upon it. For it seems to fail your hopes, your needs, your values, and your dreams. The self that needs protection is not real. The body, valueless and hardly worth the least offense, need merely be perceived as quite apart from you, and it becomes a healthy, serviceable instrument through which the mind can operate until its usefulness is over. Who would want to keep it when its usefulness is done? That's the space. That's the space you live in. That quietness. That sense of awareness. That place where you begin to perceive the body as quite apart from you. And it becomes a healthy, serviceable instrument through which the mind can operate until its usefulness is over. We're talking about making a shift from being identified as a body-mind complex, as the thinker, and begin to shift to a space that never changes. It's been with you your whole life. You are what does not change, and is quite apart from the body. It was with you before you came into this dream world, this place of awareness. It's with you now, this present moment, which is all you have, this place of awareness. And as you move along in the journey and dissociate yourself from the body identity that you've been protecting, it will still be there, this sense of awareness as yourself. This is the space you learn about defenselessness. It's where real learning takes place. It's where you learn to rest when you drink ayahuasca. This place of awareness. This place of no place, this space. Just try to recognize stillness. And you'll see it's quiet. You'll learn that it talks, and quite well. You can hear it when you're not occupied listening to the chatty mind, the busyness, the place where you're defending yourself from. Defend the body, and you have attacked your mind. For you will see in it its faults, the weaknesses, the limits and lacks from which you think the body must be saved. You will not see the mind as separate from bodily conditions, and you will impose upon the body all the pain that comes from the conception of a mind as limited and fragile, apart from other minds and separate from its source. Such a powerful sentence. defend the body, and you have attacked your mind. So you're going to be at the ayahuasca retreat. And no matter where you go, okay, maybe not so much in Cusco, but in all other areas of the Amazon, including the Tarapoto region, you're going to encounter some bugs. Ants, the mosquito. And you're going to want to defend yourself. And because you defend the body, you will discover you're attacking your mind. It's quite difficult, I know. The mosquito can be very therapeutic. So many people are afraid, petrified of getting diseases. Remember, your mind is a creator. And right now, you're unconsciously miscreating. And you create whatever you value. If you value defensiveness, your mind will give you opportunities to defend yourself. So if you're a really defensive person who wears lots of mosquito repellent, you're going to find a lot of mosquitoes. Why is that? Because like attracts like. Life is the outward reflection of the inner condition. And life gives you, well, whatever you want, whatever you're giving. And what you give is based off what you value, what you believe in, what you're faithful to. I realize it's challenging. And that's okay. It's an obstacle. That's the path. Obstacles are the path with ayahuasca and life. It's a challenge. And I'm not saying you have to get rid of the mosquito net first night. You may find, as you practice this, as you learn, as you stop defending yourself, that you're defending something that's not real. And you're really just afraid. You're really living in grievances against the mosquito. The mosquito is like a parasite. It sucks your blood. It's a vampire draining you of energy. What do you think the ego is? It's a parasitic entity, a thought system that uses the energy of your own mind to think for you. So it can do what? Drain other people, because that's what it does. It wants to suck the life out of everybody. Because it wants you to die. That's its whole MO. It is the idea of death. It's amazing what you can learn from the jungle with ayahuasca. The incredible spiritual playground that is all around you. My experience after being in the jungle for usually 2-3 weeks, I start getting a little antsy. Clothes are wet. Been on dieta. Got black mold growing on stuff. My book bag. Oh man, the grievances really start to set in, man. The bones hanging out in the Iquitos region. Nauta. But you can stick it out. And be easy. Learn to rest as awareness. In this incredible light of awareness as yourself. and learn how to allow it to begin to dissolve beliefs, to transmute fear. Well, the fear is miscreated by ourselves. It's what thought does. It's what thinking is. It creates fear. Most of us think it's involuntary. It is not. It's a miscreation of our own minds. And we have to allow the Spirit to bring us into opportunities to learn how to dismantle the conditions that bring it about. Ayahuasca is fantastic for this. Drink ayahuasca, get a little nervous. Hey, how you doing? What do you think about tonight's ceremony? Oh, I'm a little scared. Last one was a little tough. Are you going to defend yourself? And people bring all kinds of defenses in with them, things to lean on. And I'm not saying during the beginning of the journey that you can't lean on things. In a lot of cases, you have to, because it can be difficult. Like you drink ayahuasca, it can get cold, man. Really chilly. You need a blanket. That's defense. Mental climate. But the next time you go to the ceremony, you're like, do I need this blanket? All right, yeah, I still need it. A little comforter. Feel a little safe. Shivering. And then maybe the next time you're like, hey, maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't need to defend myself. Maybe you get a little cold, you really start shivering, but you're there, resting, as awareness, as yourself. And you start shaking. Ah! And it starts shaking right on out of you, man. And then suddenly you're there, you're like, oh my gosh, it's not even cold in here. You let go of it. Such a valuable tool, ayahuasca. So I want to stress that when we're talking about defense, we're not just talking about things that you pick up as your shield, as your pieces of comfort. And people bring lots of those into the jungle. All kinds of stuff from back home to make you feel okay. Well, as you move along, you need less things because you realize that if you defend yourself, you're attacked. Right? And we're stressing that it's thinking, egoic thinking. It's thoughts that start with the grievance. Here comes the present moment. I don't like it. Becomes unacceptable to me. Too many mosquitoes. Got to get the mosquito net. We have no idea. It's our own dream that we're separating cause and effect. It's all self-created, every bit of it. And thinking is what? It's planning. It's trying to figure things out. In what? In our belief that we're a body, in a conception of a mind as limited and fragile and apart from other minds and separate from its source. But we don't look for defenselessness, for resting as awareness, for forgiveness, as where to find peace, is where to really have right defense. But these ideas about ourselves, the fact that we believe we're limited and fragile. These are the thoughts that are in need of healing. And the body will respond with health when they have been corrected and replaced with truth. This is the body's only real defense. Yet, is this where you look for its defense? You offer it protection of a kind from which it gains no benefit at all, but merely adds distress of mind. You do not heal, but merely take away the hope of healing, for you fail to see where hope must lie, if it be meaningful. What are we chasing after? What are we searching for? More money, another partner, another job, sex. What is all this activity for? It's all activity based around being a body, based around the belief that you're lacking something, based around the idea that your mental climate is caused by something outside of you, and defending that belief by defending yourself against it and not knowing that you're doing it. Searching for all kinds of protective devices. You're not going to find healing there. It can't be found. A healed mind does not plan. It carries out the plans that it receives through listening to the wisdom that is not its own. It waits until it has been taught what should be done and then proceeds to do it. It does not depend upon itself for anything except its adequacy to fulfill the plans assigned to it. It is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to accomplishment of any goal that serves the greater plan established for the good of everyone. A healed mind is relieved of the belief that it must plan. Although it cannot know the outcome which is best, the means by which it is achieved, nor how to recognize the problem that this plan is made to solve, it must misuse the body in its plans until it recognizes this is so. But when it has accepted this is true, then it is healed and lets the body go. Enslavement of the body to the plans the unhealed mind sets up to save itself must make the body sick. It is not free to be the means of helping in a plan which far exceeds its own protection and which needs its service for a little while. In this capacity is health assured, for everything the mind employs for this will function flawlessly, with all the strength that has been given it and cannot fail. It is perhaps not easy to perceive that self-initiated plans are but defenses, with the purposes of all of them were made to realize. They are the means by which a frightened mind would undertake its own protection at the cost of truth. This is not difficult to realize in some forms, which these self-deceptions take, for the denial of reality is obvious. Yet planning is not often recognized as a defense. The mind engaged in planning for itself is occupied in setting up control of happenings. It does not think it will be provided for unless it makes its own provisions. Time becomes a future emphasis to be controlled by learning and experience obtained from past events and previous beliefs. It overlooks the present, for it rests on the idea that the past has taught enough to let the mind direct its future course. And this is what everybody's doing. Stinking thinking. Trying to protect a self that isn't real. Very much afraid that if you don't protect the body, you're going to die. Caught in this process of external searching, grabbing things, pushing them away. Defending what? The idea of a fragile mind. You know, you ever notice? Whatever you're chasing, you get really anxious over. You can also get very excited over the things you're chasing. They're actually the same thing. They're not any different. Don't want any more anxiety in your life? Stop chasing excitement. Creating plans. Believing that you can manage and plan your own life. You can't. There's nothing you're going to get that's going to make you happy from this world. The new boyfriend's not going to make you happy. The new girlfriend's not going to make you happy. Asking the retreat owner to move you to a different tambo, to a different casita, to a different hut, isn't going to make you happy. What's going to make you happy? Learning. If you defend yourself, you're attacked. And that as long as there's a you there that you believe in, that has to manage your own life, then you're going to have all kinds of thoughts that you believe in, and you're going to chase those thoughts because those thoughts are telling you that you have to chase them because they're going to make you happy. And we have to see this. We have to stop to any degree that we can. Hey, look, I'm not perfect. And I'm very honest about it. I still got rainbows I'm chasing. It happens. It's part of the process. And from my point of view, just about everybody on this world is still chasing something. Still depending on something outside themselves to make them feel whole, to fulfill a void that they believe in. But that's okay. We're learning about it together. We're learning why it's important. And we're learning that if we keep searching, if we keep believing that we can manage our own lives, that we can be the chooser, the decider of coming up with the next idea that's going to make us happy, make us feel safe, we're not going to really go anywhere. It's not going to get us anything. You seek and never find. This is the ego's decree. And what's really happening is we are giving up our ability to grow. We're giving up change. And we have to change. We can't change while the past, everything we've learned about ourselves, is dictating the present. That's a contradiction. Everything that you've learned about yourself in the belief that you're a body isn't true. It's actually all false. Let's look at it and see from this point of reference It's how we act. We believe we're limited. That's not true. We believe that the present moment contains something in it that threatens us. That's not true. That's not what you're going to find out if you watch the news and you listen to the unconscious propaganda machine that has no idea that they're living in a dream, in the denial of God. And that when you deny God, you perceive his opposites. What a revolutionary idea. God doesn't have an opposite. There's no opposite to light and truth. There's no opposite to the infinite. There's no opposite to love. There's no opposite to joy. But when you deny those things, you perceive those opposites. And that's exactly what's happened. Well, let's take a look. You believe that you're a limited entity that can die, that has a private mind, that is subject to sickness, right? That's guilty. None of those things have any meaning in the kingdom of heaven. They only have meaning for those that are holding on to their beliefs about themselves that aren't true, that aren't real, that they're trading back and forth with everybody, every day. So if you want to heal, how could you make any decisions from that place? You can't. It's impossible. And we're stuck in the intellectual mind. We're stuck in self-centered thought. And you can't fix self-centered thought with self-centered thought. You need something higher who can come into your mind and help you work out your illusions because you believe in them without it believing in them. So what you can do is allow truth in and take over your life. But you can't do it if you're unwilling to let go of the value of thinking for yourself, of choosing for yourself, of planning, of figuring out. So we have to learn how to rest in the right mind, how to observe the wrong mind, how to stop giving so much interest to all the thoughts that we have every day to pull us in 1,000 different directions. The mind that plans is thus refusing to allow for change. What it has learned before becomes the basis for its future goals. Its past experience directs its choice of what will happen, and it does not see that here and now is everything it needs to guarantee a future quite unlike the past, with any continuity of any old ideas and sick beliefs. Anticipation plays no part at all, for present confidence directs the way. Defenses are the plans you undertake to make against the truth. This is true, my friends. So what happens as you begin to let this go? You discover a whole new way to live. And when you're drinking ayahuasca, you'd be surprised. Maybe some nights you don't drink ayahuasca. That happens to me all the time. I expect that I'm going to be going to ceremony, and truth informs me, Kenny, not tonight. Why not? But I wanted to. No, absolutely not. Okay, truth. Okay, God, reality. No ayahuasca tonight. That's fine. That's okay. Hey, Kenny, ayahuasca tonight. Okay, ayahuasca tonight. Or no, ayahuasca tonight. Yes, ayahuasca tonight. Why? Because truth knows better than you know. And we need to come to terms with the way to know, really know, understand, is to consistently rest in the place that I don't know. I can't know. I can't choose. I can't decide. As a matter of fact, I've never made a decision, not one single choice ever, that has ever worked out. Well, there is one choice, and it's the choice we're making together. But it's not an egoic choice. And it's the choice to allow truth to decide for you for God. To learn to give your choice over. In your determination to make no decisions by yourself. In all things. In the girlfriend, maybe she's not right for you. To continue to drink ayahuasca, maybe it's not right for you. And you just start living in it. Like we do in the rooms of the 12 and the 12. You learn to turn your will and your life over to the care of a higher power. That there's one ultimate authority, a loving God, as it expresses itself in our group conscience, in the totality of the one mind. And we live in prayer and meditation, asking only of this power's will for us and the power to carry that out. And you do that very consistently. It's the day of the ceremony, and you say, hey, Holy Spirit, you can choose whatever language that you like. It doesn't really matter. Help me understand what you want me to do today. Is today a good ayahuasca day or not? Guide me. Guide my mind. And make a decision not to choose. Now, in the beginning, it can be a little rocky. Because we're so afraid that if we don't choose, that something terrible is going to happen to us. That the body's not going to be taken care of. God's going to take care of the body. And he can take care of the body better than any of us. And you begin to learn what it means to rest as awareness, as yourself. To rest in the mind of the Holy Spirit, as yourself. To learn to just be a witness, to just watch, to just be. And begin to allow something to do everything for you, absolutely everything for you. We don't have to do anything. Isn't that nice? An increasing quality, with an increasing clarity, we learn that. And as I said, for me, it's still not perfect. I come in and out, in and out. If I start planning, protecting myself from unseen events, from future events, if I start choosing ways to make myself happy, it means I have a grievance again. And what happens? I start identifying with the body again. That's what happens. And then, I hit the wall. Ouch! Oh man, I was living again as the chooser, and that really hurts when I do that. I've been thinking like crazy. My God, wow. It's like a bit of a mental relapse into thinking. It's okay. We keep walking, my friends. You got to keep walking. And what happens is we learn to trust. We learn to trust God. We begin to see that stillness is really the answer to absolutely everything. Just quietness. That's all. And you begin to move from that stillness. That stillness starts to animate the body. It starts to move you around. And when we fall off track, we have to make that only good choice again. A choice between body identification and living with light, living as awareness, living for freedom, for truth, for joy, for love. Or for thrills, for states of mind that don't last. And it's up to us, the kind of climate that we want to live in. It's our choice. We can either continue to do the work and walk towards a climate of perfect safety, perfect comfort, perfect companionship, or descend back into the mind of fear, chasing feelings again, getting lost in what? Lost in doing, lost as a doer, lost in stinking thinking, believing in illusionary thoughts again. As we learn to let go of our defenses, many things begin to be reinterpreted for us. Lots of healing ideas. One of the ideas I speak about quite a bit is fidelity to principles. You can be faithful to truth or deception. What's it going to be? You got to be married to one or the other. That one principle. Yeah, what a miracle. It'll take you on an incredible journey. And defenselessness leads to the realization of real vision. The discovery of forgiveness, miracle forgiveness that Ayahuasca teaches you. That's when the present moment that comes up seems to do something to you and you become the judge. You done it. You're who's doing this to me, Ayahuasca. You're who's doing this to me, people at the retreat, or whatever's going on in your life. And you stop being the judge. Stop projecting guilt on everybody and everything. And you start to see that no one's really done anything to you ever. So now you don't want to attack them. Because this is the cycle. Defend yourself, right? Attack back. Vengeance. Living with the sword and the shield to protect your little life. Well, you let go of the sword and the shield, which really means you let go of judgment. Because you see, it's not getting you anywhere. You were believing in illusions. And real vision comes into view. Spiritual sight. You know, these two things go together. The quiet voice inside you that's going to guide your life, instruct you, move the body for you, talk for you, and the light of vision. The beautiful light of the oneness of being that envelops all things as itself. And you can lose it. You can lose your vision. That's what happens when you start chasing things again. I speak from experience. Start chasing after women, chasing after orgasms, chasing after tasty treats, chasing after money, chasing after warmer climates. All these are states of mind. A climate of variation. And vision isn't like that. It's constant. But you can't have it unless you have constancy in your own mind, which means no thought. You're not thinking about yesterday. You're not thinking from yesterday, from the past, making decisions from your own delusion of having mature judgment. And you're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking at all. But there is thought there, a new kind of thought. The thought that comes from God through the Holy Spirit, the luminous light. That's what thought is. It's light, holy light, the oneness of light. It's such a beautiful discovery to find real vision. And I really want for you to discover it, to experience the love of light that looks on the reflection of the one self, as love looks on itself. It sees nothing else. Everything gets brought in. Everything is appreciated. Oh, what a teaching of ayahuasca. What a beautiful teaching of ayahuasca. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. This world is a reflection of yourself. You are the world and the world is you. You've been defending yourself from you. Not knowing you're attacking yourself by defending yourself. Lesson 135 ends with a very simple instruction. If I defend myself, I am attacked. But in my defenselessness, I will be strong, and I will learn what my defenses hide. Now you take that into an ayahuasca ceremony. You take that into the retreat. You take that into your hut, your tambo, your casita. Take that into the climate of the Amazon jungle. And you'll begin to see it. That if you defend yourself, you will feel attacked. It'll start to become really natural for you to see, oh my gosh, I need to let go of my defenses. This is no good. I had no idea what I was doing to myself because I didn't know. Well, now you're being informed about the high teachings of ayahuasca and learning about Course in Miracles principles. If I defend myself, I am attacked. But in my defenselessness, I will be strong, and I will learn what my defenses hide. The light of being, the light of oneness, holding on to the illusion of scarcity, the idea of lack. That's what fear is. It's the idea that you're not secure in this moment. You're lacking in security. So you have to search, use, grab for something outside yourself to make you feel comfortable, safe. But it was all a lie. It's just an illusion. And I submit to you, ayahuasca can help you crack that illusion of separation. It can help you want what's truly valuable in life, which is not stimulation of any kind. It's silence. It's stillness. And now it can take the body, right? And it can use it in a way to help you work out your conditioning. And it will. It will take you into a new relationship with food, with ayahuasca, with the seeming challenging weather, airport, in your relationships, in your sexual activity, with money. It can manage all those things. We can't. We can't manage anything. What we can do is learn to stop thinking about ourself, the fragment that's not real. You're being prepared. For those of you listening to this talk, you're getting ready to take the trek to explore the healing power of ayahuasca. And a whole new world of spiritual insight is about to open up for you. Don't be afraid. Be gentle with yourself. Look, the mosquitoes may be too damn hard to deal with. It's okay. It's cool. Be easy. Just allow yourself to go through that experience as calmly as you can, as gently as you can. That's the way. Gentle is the way. And now you have a new goal. Master of gentleness. Master of defenselessness. Isn't that what Jesus taught? Isn't that what he did? Never raised a hand. Never once. Don't give me that story about the temple when he got all mad and flipped the tables and stuff like that. You weren't there. You don't know what happened. Jesus knew if he defended himself, he'd be attacked. And he was not going to hold up that illusion. If he did, he wouldn't be able to resurrect. You see, when you defend yourself, you're separating cause and effect. What does that mean? That means something else is the creator of your experience. So if you want to be a right manifester, a co-creator, and everybody does, I mean, come on, that's actually your job. That's your real occupation, to learn what it means to co-create in this world with God, which is a healing dream with your brothers in the reality of light. But you can't do that if you're defending yourself from your own reflection that you're creating, because now you're saying that your reflection isn't being created by you. But if you don't defend yourself at all, and you realize purely extension, right? There's no projection. There's no guilt. There's no blame saying this moment is being caused by something outside of me. And now what takes place? Now you have, I'm going to use a word, it could be a little confusing. You have control over your experience. You now dominate your experience. And all that simply means is that you're one with it. And there's no attack in you because there's no defense. So the present moment can't hurt you anymore. Maybe that's an unpopular idea for a lot of Christians about what took place during the crucifixion. But Jesus Christ had unshakable peace. He was a man of unshakable peace. And you and I together, if you so choose, that's what we desire. That's what we're after. That's what we want. That mental climate that is so beautiful, changeless, completely undisturbed by the world. And you can be in the world and not of it. I want to thank you so much for taking some time to listen to this talk. I want you to know that ayahuasca is your friend. Ayahuasca is your friend. I am your friend. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being willing to join the greater joining. Until next time. Hello again, everybody. Thanks again for listening to the Voice of the Wand podcast. If you have any interest in attending one of our life-changing Plants and Miracles retreats and wish to explore the wondrous world of ayahuasca and A Course in Miracles, please visit us online at www.iamoneself.com and check out the retreats page. That's iamoneself.com/retreats. And if you really enjoyed today's content, consider making a donation to the Holy Earth Foundation or join our growing spiritual community on Patreon at patreon.com/iamoneself. Come, be a part, meet the like-minded, and gain access to the growing body of my work with discourses on miracle forgiveness, illumination vision, and much, much more. I hope to see you there. Please accept this gift, who is the miracle of Ash Avery, ayahuasquero and owner of the Garden of Peace Ayahuasca Retreat with Hizikaro Remedy. Love is the remedy, my friends, forever and ever. I love you so much. Until next time, God saves.
You are my remedy. You came along and rescued me. You are my medicine, my sweet remedy. You are my medicine, sweet like honey. When I need Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. You're a special kind of medicine, like no other I have ever discovered. The way you bring me up when I feel down, yeah, you bring a smile straight onto my face. The way you soothe my soul and you warm my heart with your love, with your love, your love, your love, your love is the medicine, your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E, L-O-V-E. Your love is the medicine, your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E. You're nothing less than an angel in my eyes. Yeah, I'm so damn lucky to have you in my life. You're oh so pretty, like a flower. There's so much medicine in your essence. Your love is the medicine. Your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E, L-O-V-E. Your love is the medicine. Your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E. Ba 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 da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba ba da ba ba da ba da. What's up?